Imagine going to war, not firing a single shot, and returning with more people than you left with. Sounds like a bad maths problem, doesn't it? Right, gather round, because today we're discussing a military campaign so utterly uneventful, it's almost inspiring. We're heading to Liechtenstein, that delightful little postage stamp of a country nestled in the Alps. A place so small, their national anthem uses the same tune as God Save the King. Talk about efficient patriotism. Now, back in 1866, Europe was a bit of a tinderbox, as it often was. Prussia and Austria were having a bit of a discussion, a rather loud, cannon-filled discussion, actually. This was the Austro-Prussian War, and guess who was technically part of the German Confederation, and thus, theoretically, involved? Yep, little Liechtenstein. So, Liechtenstein, in a move that can only be described as mildly participating, sent a contingent of 80 soldiers to guard the southern border in the Tyrolean mountains. Their mission? To watch the passes, prevent any pesky Italian skirmishers from waltzing in, and presumably, admire the breathtaking alpine scenery. It was less a war deployment and more an extremely well-funded hiking trip. These 80 brave souls, armed with muskets and an abundance of caution, spent their time patrolling, probably sharing stories, and undoubtedly wondering if anyone would actually show up. Their strategic objective seemed less about defeating an enemy and more about successfully avoiding any sort of unpleasantness whatsoever. A plan with the structural integrity of a chocolate teapot, but it somehow worked. And here's the kicker, they didn't encounter a single enemy soldier. Not one. It was an entirely peaceful deployment. They saw more sheep than skirmishes, more wildflowers than hostile forces. It was the military equivalent of showing up to a party, standing awkwardly in the corner, and then leaving before anyone important arrived. Then, the war ended. Prussia won, Austria lost, and Liechtenstein's 80 men were called back home. And this is where the story gets truly absurd. Because when they returned, there weren't 80 of them. There were 81. Yes, you heard that right. They left with 80 men and returned with 81. The extra man? An Italian liaison officer who had evidently become quite fond of the Liechtensteiners' company. He decided to join them on their journey back, apparently enjoying the camaraderie and perhaps the excellent alpine air. It's like going to the pub with your mates and accidentally bringing home a new, slightly confused friend. So, in the annals of military history, Liechtenstein stands alone. The only nation to send a force to war, engage in no combat, suffer no casualties, and actually increase its numbers. It's a bit like playing a game of poker and somehow ending up with more chips than you started with, despite folding every hand. It's a beautiful testament to the idea that sometimes, the best way to win isn't to fight at all. Or, perhaps, that if you're going to war, make sure it's with a country that appreciates good company and isn't too fussed about the actual fighting apart. A truly unique chapter in the story of human conflict. So, the life lesson here? If you're going to get involved in an international conflict, make sure you do it with a smile and an open invitation for new friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievably true stories.